Hello and welcome to another match in the Dark Ages pools. I am playing against Not Too Bad, who I believe has only played one other match. Again, also against Backwards, as I have. Backwards, lost 4-0 to Not Too Bad and to Capline. I went 2-2 against Backwards, so that's not a great sign. Hopefully I can do well against both of them though and be in the running for promotion, or not promotion, advancing to the bracket round. So as usual with Dark Ages, we have all of the trashing, as well as one card that does not, two cards that do not involve trashing in some way. Werewolf and Triumph, exciting. This is probably a board where you want to do stuff with Triumph. Just because, you know, there's upgrade, rogue, replace, develop for gaining cards, and then farmer's market and forager for getting plus buy. Usually the problem with these boards is lack of ability to increase hand size, but with werewolf on the board, you might be able to do it with like acting troops and ironmongers for actions and werewolf for draw. So Not Too Bad opens with a research. Wonder what is the right. I would like to get. I'm wondering if Forager Sewers is the way to go. That way you can like trash a copper and then trash an estate and still get the coin from the estate. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, so we can trash copper. And trash. Oh, wait. We still don't get. Okay, yeah. I don't get like the coin from trashing the estate, but I get to trash the estate and still get whatever. It doesn't actually really matter. Okay. Yeah, what I really want is an ironmonger. Doesn't look like I'm very likely to get one. I wonder if I should get a silver or maybe just another forager. I think I'm gonna get a silver and then buy another forager if I don't hit 4 this turn, which I don't. Yeah, this is a little bit awkward, actually, the sewers thing. I don't know why I was thinking it would do be relevant for forager, but like I really would like to get an ironmonger, but I should definitely be capable of doing that. Well, actually, if I have the same like forager 3 copper estate hand, I mean, I suppose at that point I could choose not to trash again. Let's just get actually another Oh, okay. I mean, this could be a 5 cost hand, which would be pretty nice. Hmm. Do I want to buy a 5, or am I okay buying an Ironmonger? I think I'm okay buying an Ironmonger. Ugh. I wonder if it's already time to trash my second Forager. It probably is. My opponent appears to be even thinner than I am. Well, he does have 2 cards set aside with the research, but still. 5, 6, 7. I have 9 cards. I have 9 cards for long, though. Seem. Yeah, I think at this point we have all the forging we need. The question is, do I want another silver? Do I want something else? Farmer's market seems like it might be fine. I don't really need the plus buy from that specifically, though. I still have a couple forager trashes, so I think I will just get another silver. Like, hopefully I see my, or get to my forager. Otherwise this turn has got too much money. I suppose that could have been anticipated. So we could potentially pick up a rogue next. Rogue allows us to keep playing the forager for foragers quite some time. I mean, we had the actions to do it, which is going to be a little bit of an issue if I don't hit plus buy. Or, well, and get rid of these last couple coppers with my 1 forager. Yay, we found it. So, I guess there's really no reason not to trash here. I can still hit. Yeah, let's get the rogue. Hopefully I draw the rogue and not... Is that a silver? I'm pretty sure it's a silver. So one thing to note about Triumph on this board is that with all the trashing that there is, if you can get like a half decent Triumph turn, you probably just go ahead and do that rather than waiting until it's really big, because you can trash the estate easily enough. Should keep on the lookout for if I have like a 4 point or something turn. Whoa, hey, that was rude. That was very rude. I'll keep that on top, actually. Alright, so I have 7. Probably need another Ironmonger. Maybe I should get the Farmer's Market just to have like another action, another source of... Well, of course it's terminal. But I don't really want to be playing more Foragers. I could get an Acting Troop, I guess. That's not crazy. I do need to get a Werewolf as well. Get some draw. Right now, researching 2 Foragers in the trash. Yeah, I mean, I can potentially like forage silvers and regain those. Regain the Foragers and then forage them again. Also regain the Acting Troop, but that doesn't need to be done too much. I wonder if it's going to be correct for me to gain a replace or a Werewolf. The replace is pretty flexible. Okay, well, I don't care about that curse at all. Or do I? No. So does he still have a Forager? He doesn't. So leaving a silver in the trash is actually pretty nice for me. Yeah, maybe I just pull out another Forager. Alright, so yeah, let's get... I think it's... I can't get a replace mid-turn. I can get like a Werewolf mid-turn, even though I would really like to have the Werewolf draw, but let's do replace Ironmonger. Maybe I should have gotten replace instead of Rogue. I don't know. How many cards did I gain this past turn? Forger or replace an Ironmonger. I mean, taking 5 dead at this point wouldn't have made a lot of sense, but like it's almost getting to that point. Crashes a silver. Alright, that's fine, I guess. Weird to me that he doesn't want to play that for draw, but I guess he hasn't needed to yet. We'll keep that, I guess. But discard that. What's in the trash right now? Do I even want any of that? Maybe I don't. No, I can replace first. Discard that. Let's see. So we forage silver. Replace a silver into a werewolf. And the rogue, we gain probably a silver over another forager. We've got 2 of those already. Buy. Got 3 villagers. I think I want another werewolf. I want to be able to draw. Alright. Starting to do stuff. I once again forgot to think about actually just going ahead and triumphing. So I gained werewolf, silver, and werewolf. So it's only 3, so that wouldn't have been that much, but still not anything super interesting in the trash. The rogue to be gaining. I feel like Not Too Bad should pull that acting troop out of the trash. Definitely use the villagers. Whoa, still using Oh, I guess he doesn't have a forager. Oh, there's another acting troop, so I guess that works too. Though, I don't know what he's planning to pull out with the rogue. Because you'd always just grab the silver. Increase payload a bit. Yep. Ready. I'll keep the rogue, I think. Keep that as well. Would like to find it first. Might as well do that. So what do we want to pull out? Could pull out another forager and just forage a forager. Forage is silver. I'm still at 4 coins. Plus the rogue is 6 coins. I can also reveal the silver with an ironmonger and get a coin out of that. Yeah, let's get... Let's get a silver. And... Oh, what am I going to replace? Replace the silver into... I mean, I guess I could just replace the forager. I already have 2 buys. That's probably as many as I need. Replace it into another replace, and then replace a silver. I like having multiple replaces. Now you can top deck a werewolf. And alright, how many cards have I gained at this point? Gained a silver. Gained a replace. Gained a werewolf. I could like buy Ironmonger and Triumph. Doesn't seem totally ridiculous. Take on a couple of debt, but I think that's okay. This turn I'll probably need to grab an acting troop again. Shouldn't be a problem. I can even replace state to acting troop rather than roguing it if I need to. And how many do I? Okay, I still know. I only have one forager now. Something I need to pay attention to is staying on top of plus buy so that I have the option of driving the estate pile if my opponent tries to match on the triumphs. One thing you can actually do there is develop silver into like estate ironmonger. That might even be good, just like independently. I should look into getting it developed too. What is the last card in Not Too Bad's hand? Another werewolf. Acting troop? No. Silver. Really, it's not a copper. Oh, a gold. Get it gold. And why? That. Anything I need to be discarding at this point? Not sure. That. Okay. I mean, I guess ideally I make a coin at this point, but um, let's see. Pull an acting troop out of the trash. Replace estate into something. Oh, I thought I would actually like to replace. I'd actually like to get a second rogue, like my opponent did. I could replace estate into Ironmonger. Well, I have a second replace. Okay, so maybe let's do that. Okay, I don't really need a forager, but am I gonna be able to get more coins out of the trash? The last card is a replace. I want to see that. Maybe I rogue for a silver thing. All right, replace silver rogue. Forage silver. Let's see. If I rogue to gain card and then play, yeah, I can't gain. I can gain a silver and play it. So basically, yeah, I think it needs to be silver. Even though I would really like an acting troop, but I think I can get away with not having an acting troop. All right. So how many cards did I gain this turn? Do I want to spend... I should probably just go ahead and buy the last Ironmonger. Not worry about it too much. Oh, provinces. Wait. Oh. Giving me a curse increases my economy, so that's nice. I'm convinced that you want provinces in your deck, though. I'm not really better than triumphs. I mean, you can province and triumph, but gaining provinces means you're not... Well, I don't know. I could see this working out, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the VP lead is basically from the provinces. Just, I don't know if that's going to hurt his deck enough that he's going to regret that. I can always replace something into a gold if I want to do the same trick, I suppose. All the ironmongers. Yeah, I guess I'll keep that too. Alright, I don't really need a forager yet. Discard that. Okay, so I could even, let's see. Replace in the trash right now. Silvers. Maybe I should get a third rogue and or a third replace. The rogue increases the total number of cards in my deck, which is probably what I want. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get rogue. And also gain one of those acting troops. I don't think there's anything I want to gain with this replace before I draw. How am I actually drawing these other cards, though? That could be an issue. Can't replace into a werewolf. Maybe I should have gained a werewolf instead of a third rogue. I've got what's in there, a forager, an acting troop, a second forager in there? I think so. Maybe my opponent picked up a forager. No silver in there. Oh, it's the other curse. That's right. Okay. Well, I guess I could get to develop like I was talking about. No. If I want to finish off the triumph stuff, that may not be safe though. I wonder if I can get to double triumph this turn. Then it might be safe. Don't even worry about. Well, I need to get another forager if I'm gonna do that. Probably. I don't think I can. Yeah, I should not have gotten this third rogue. That was a mistake. I mean, I guess I could replace a rogue with a werewolf. Seems a little silly. A lot silly. Actually, I guess it's fine. Oh, I can trash the curse. Yeah, let's do that. Trash the other curse. I want to do that with my forager, but yeah, we'll just forge the estate. And probably probably just gain a silver. Better to have a forage. It's probably better to deny my opponent buy with a forager, actually. Okay, so I think I might need more buys. I mean, more draw. So could just go Werewolf Triumph. Hopefully, this is my opponent hitting a dud. Hard to know what that looks like exactly. I mean, I know that I have 6 Ironmongers to his 4 and like 5 Werewolves to his 2, I want to say. No, that can't be right. 4. It can be right. Yeah, I think it is right. So, with the 2 provinces in there, I mean, I guess it's quite possible. And he just top decked a werewolf, so if he doesn't have an Ironmonger or a werewolf in hand, he has nothing that draws. Although I guess the other possibility is he's thinking about like, what do I do with my replace? That looks like trying to pile the states, which would be bad news for me. Yeah. Go like a state triumph. I mean, the good news, he's not going to get much value out of it. And my deck's a lot better. So long as I don't lose on piles, should be in a reasonable position. But being denied the opportunity to continue triumphing is pretty bad for me. I have to pivot to like replacing into a gold and then doing shenanigans similar to what my opponent did, which I should be capable of doing better, potentially, but And he's only gonna get, I guess it's a 4-point triumph if he goes estate triumph. Could also do triumph, I guess. I think that would actually be correct. Yeah. Also, the piles are almost empty, so that's a bit of a problem. Alright, I think we just go ahead and werewolf at this point, probably. Well, it's not like I need the Ironmongers to skip anything after I shuffle. Okay. I just need to get as many actions as I can, probably. Alright, so I need... What do I have in my discard? A curse, an estate. Only gave me the one curse, right? Yeah. Okay, so 2 cards in my discard pile. I might need an acting troop this turn. I do probably need a gold. Did he trash his gold? No. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to do a ton with the provincing, unfortunately. My opponent is potentially lined up for another bad turn. So I can like replace rogue into gold. That's, oh right, that'll go on top. That's fine. Rogue gaining acting troop. Maybe I don't need the 3rd rogue at this point. Rogue gaining what? Well, if I'm gonna do the... Yeah, I guess I should just go ahead. Grab the other rogue. Did I screw this up? I might not draw the acting troop. Okay. We don't need to trash that. Do that. Oh, oops. Actually, yeah, I need to play the Forager first. That was dumb. And I save a Villager. Okay, so I could buy another gold. I could buy another replace. We just buy a duchy, but that doesn't do a whole lot. Third replace is going to be pretty difficult to sustain. Definitely not safe to buy a werewolf. Yeah, I think it's... Maybe it is third replace. Gotta get greedy a little bit, perhaps. I could also just grab a couple acting troops. Make sure I don't... Well... We do like acting troop farmers market, I guess. Like, depending on... I'm not going to be able to play enough farmers markets for that to help anything. No, that's stupid. That is silver, I could buy province, so I could do acting troop silver, I guess. Poverty, nice. Oh, that is not good. That is not good. Ooh. Done, done, done. Looks pretty done. Placing a state. I don't know what you do with that. Helps this turn, so still looks pretty done. All right. This is not looking good, but okay. Ooh. All right. Huh. All right. Yeah, so can I empty the werewolves and get like a province? Probably. I guess it doesn't actually matter whether I keep or discard this, but we'll keep it because we don't want to draw like provinces that we placed into. It probably really just doesn't matter. Okay, so I need to gain an action ideally. But maybe it doesn't matter. Let's see what I have here. So I can do the double replace gold into province thing. I only need to do it once though. Actually, I could replace werewolf into werewolf. That's probably good. Or replace rogue into werewolf for that matter. Okay, so now we can replace gold into province. And now we just need to find 10 coins or something to that effect. Oh, there's a gold in the trash, so the foragers are worth 3. So I can forage 2. Well, let's forage. So forage a rogue. That gets me to 5. I forage a werewolf. Gets me to 8. Back to gold. All right. Yeah, so it got scary for sure, but I do think my strategy of having like a better deck was better, but I think I may have played a little too fast and loose with the power of um replacing into provinces at the same time. So opponent went first. Gotta get our mix on. The Tomb Game. Not an uncommon occurrence in this mix. Okay, so how valuable is age here? I mean, nothing else gives you stuff to trash, but that seems a little not the most important thing. Hermits can do that too. There are no attacks to trash Squire into. How sad. I don't know. Page is usually good. Is it only good in this case because of like warrior draw or something? Maybe. I mean, not needing to worry about terminal actions is of course nice, but hero probably can't be bad. Not seeing a lot going on with that, but reluctant to just ignore it. So I guess I won't. We'll go page remake. How quickly do I just start loading up on menageries here? Menagerie's not going to do anything for at least a little while. I could just grab a second page. It's never going to hurt to have warriors in your deck at the very least. Yeah. Do that. Let me remake estates into menageries too. Yeah, gaining a hermit might be a good idea too. That way we can use that to gain menageries as well. Should I get a squire? A third page. Squire doesn't seem like it's doing too much just yet. Third page. Doesn't would be more exciting on this board in my opinion. Fourth page just seems like a little unnecessary. Let's get a squire. Oh man. I guess that was somewhat to be expected. Treasure Hunter bottom decked, though. I'm losing out on this menagerie split setting. Another squire here or another page? I actually think page. Okay, now my opponent has another one. Hmm. Hmm. But fine, probably. I can't even get treasure hunters right now. Actually, I can if depending on the order. But I mean, I'm not gonna want a ton of silvers. Of course, I mean, I can always remake silvers into like mining villages and conclaves and transmogrifies. Makes them fine. But what else is Squire doing? Plus buy seems like it's gonna be a while before that has an impact, but never hurts to get another page. If he plays a treasure hunter, he's gonna be at least a little sad. So long as I buy something. So I kinda wanna buy something. Actually I guess it's not that bad. 3 silvers. It's fine. But let's get another square. I want that silver in my shuffle. Not sure. Thinking no. Already got a couple in there. Oh, also, I'd be gaining a lot of silvers. Not a silver, so that's important. This is going to be my only menagerie mission. Menagerie missing the shuffle. It's pretty annoying. I do think I need to play it because I'm pretty sure I have a warrior down there. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm definitely not playing this treasure hunter. I think my hermit's down there too, actually. I want to play that too. I want to get another menagerie. It's too bad I can't do it before I shuffle. Develop. Seems reasonable, I guess. I'd like to get a transmogrify. Yeah, menagerie's better. second remake at this point. And I guess if you just want to remake all the silvers. All right. Huh. All right, so we unfortunately don't have close by because now all of a sudden I actually have stuff. But it's okay. It's probably more important to get Menagerie than to get any of the other stuff that I was talking about getting, honest. Even though I have way more than I need to be able to do that. This card's a hero. Oh. I would like to get that champion down. This deck has so much silver now. So much silver! How much did he gain? Ugh. If I'd drawn that, well, it wouldn't matter. Alright. 1 silver is fine. Alright, let's remix some silver. I would like a transmogrify, as I said. Oh, a mining village? Or, yeah, mining village. Slave. Alright, yeah, I don't really want a second hero right now, but yeah, it's fine. See if he gives me the opportunity to get the last 2 menageries. That would be nice. Alright, well I have backup hero, so it's fine. It's all fine. Also, I can play my menagerie and not worry about missing the shuffle. I wonder if it's correct to, like, buy excess pages and then trash them with her. Oh my gosh. Ugh! Can't play this treasure hunter again. This is not the Triumph game, sir. You do not need such quantities of silver. Feels like you get a madman. Now that I can't get 2 menageries. I could just get another page, potentially. We'll see what I draw, of course. Okay, well I don't need to play that warrior anyway. I do not want to gain, like, bajillion and a half silvers, so that's fine too. Let's play Hermit In a menagerie. Yeah, let's just get Madman. Seems good. Oh. Oh, never mind. I was about to say I didn't update the score, but I did. All right. I don't really care about getting a gold into my shuffle. Do I care about getting my not having my champion miss my shuffle? I'm not even sure that I do particularly. I think I'll just play on. Let's put this on my mat. Ooh, I don't need this madman at all. How many cards did he gain? 3. Really don't want all those silvers very much. I think I will not take them. Well, yeah. No, I would like another warrior. Hmm. Yeah, it's fine. All right, so want another transmogrify? Do we want? I don't think. I think another remake is not practical. Mining village is soon going to be superfluous. There's another and is count totally ridiculous? Probably. Could get another hermit in anticipation of eventually getting another madman, but what am I gonna do? When am I gonna get another madman? That seems unlikely. Maybe I get to develop. Develop silvers. And develop golds too. I mean, into duchies. Sure, why not? All right. So you default keep. Default keep. I have a copper? Madness. No, my menagerie. Ah, so mean. So I'm about to get my champion too. How rude. By province. Okay. That's a sign of surrender. I don't need to transmogrify this turn. Probably don't need to use the Madman this turn either. What is the number of cards that I would gain? So 1, 2, 3. That's probably going to be deal withable. Let's assume it is. I can crash his menagerie. Cool. So it would appear that I need to play my Madman if I want to draw my champion, and I do want to draw my champion. And at that point, my draw gets better too, so yeah, that's fine. We'll just do it. Okay. Put this down. See, we obviously are going to play this for buys. You to gain a gold. Develop silver into page. And then play it. That's pretty cool. So sure. Gain page and mining village, I guess. Just because I can draw through it. I don't really need it. I can transmogrify it at some point. Remake. Is there anything I want to do with this remake? Right now I'm going to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. I have 16 if I remake the silver into something that doesn't generate economy, so that's pretty cool. Remaking into another mining village seems fine. All right, so we keep the hero, keep the warrior, exchange into warrior, exchange into treasure hunter. Yeah. What? What is this? What is this? Actually, I guess I can transmogrify into mining village and draw a card. And if it doesn't work out, hey, I can still buy a province. I even have 2 transmogrifies, not that that is really relevant for what I was saying. Ah. Not really looking to remake gold here. Not really a power play. And I want my squires. I'll just see 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, just play the menagerie and okay. Get another province. And another mining village. You can always trash the mining villages for coins and a point, so that's pretty good. Even though they're otherwise useless at this point. Oh, what did I hit with my warrior? Trash his menagerie. Yes. Shut him down. Feeling pretty good about this one at this point. Transmogrify. Do I want to transmogrify? Not really, no. I think all he did was buy a province, so we'll go ahead and do this. That 1 silver. Remake? Eh. I want to trash his remake. Trash his menageries. 4 of them in the trash, jeez. I wanted to develop... I don't think I want to develop any of these cards. I get the last 2. Well, this doesn't look like a promising turn for... for getting the last 2 provinces right now. I don't think I can really change that. I mean, I could develop a province to get it out of the way, which is pretty... Is that too ridiculous? It's probably too ridiculous. I guess I can always change my mind after I draw once with the first menagerie, or with the mining village. Hmm. It's really tempting to develop this province. It's really tempting. I mean, even if I just rebuy 1 province, I'm still in a good position because I don't think my opponent has really any capability of doubling. Hmm. Need more warriors. Need more warriors. It's a 5-point loss, which is a little hard to swallow. Yeah, I think it's too ambitious. Oh my gosh. Alright, well... Well, I could develop my remake. Into like Page Mining Village. Doesn't seem like super good, but it's a couple points. Oh, no, it's 1 point. Well, it'll be 2 points after I crash the mining village next turn. If I do that. Oh, that's not how that works at all. Okay, crap. Why did I think that that was a 3 cost? I regret everything. Okay. How about you could remake I really don't need like 5 buys anyway. I appreciate him not trying to attest to the first. Alright, yeah, let's remake a develop into a mining village. And Squire into just a silver at this point. And by age. Alright, so now we keep, and we get another warrior. What did his champion get discarded? Ooh. Having to play your squires for actions is sad. I could, well, he might grab the last mining village here. If he doesn't, I could turn mining village or silver into mining village. I think, maybe start popping the mining villages now that I've got a squire in hand and a decent number of coins. Like that would be 13 coins, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, no, 11 coins. That's still pretty good. And I get to draw a card. Still has a copper. Yay. So many remakes. How do you still have copper in your deck? Madness. I'll say these have been some pretty slow games. Almost an hour and a half in, we've only played 2 games of Conclave. That's surprising. All right, down to 2 provinces. All right, that's good. Is that it? Yep. So I needed him to do that. D Honda, nice. Needed him to not take that mining village to be able to pull that out. All right, so back to not too bad start. So this upcoming game, Recruiter, that's always exciting. Lots of trashing as always. I believe the only card that doesn't trash something is Market Square, and that, of course, you can gain golds when you trash, so the trashing just doesn't stop. So what is the deck here? There's not really any draw. Recruiter is card neutral. Ironmonger only draws cards if you hit green, which... So... probably you're just looking to do like can you still double province off of 5 cards with counterfeits and golds? You counterfeit 1 gold, that's 7, and then 9. Yeah, you can. If you get exactly 4 golds and a counterfeit, you counterfeit the gold. And in theory, you can regain the golds, but of course, in order to do that, you have to decrease your hand size by discarding with market squares. So I don't know how practical that actually is. All right, so where's the open here? The goal is to get some recruiters and a counterfeit. And have some market squares and discard. Of course, I guess you can, in theory, you can use treasure maps to gain golds too. I don't know about actually doing that. I'm actually thinking about like stonemason overpay for stonemasons and then just start advancing them. And pick up a market square as well. And you can even use stonemason to trash while you're doing it, if you collide them. So yeah, I think I'm gonna open with a market square at the very least. Yeah, I think I like it. Let's advance. Advance our way to success. Well, we certainly have different openings here. We'll see if it's nice. That's some bad distribution. Really wanted to discard market square for gold. All right, well, the good news is I have 2 buys, so I can advance again, still get a market square. All right. I don't know how many market squares I want, but I mean, there's no harm in having more. Okay, so yeah, let's do it again. I mean, we lose out on a buy effectively, but I think that's okay. I'd rather have a gold than another market square. So I want a 3rd recruiter is the question. Seems, I mean, it's always, you can always trash the other recruiter, of course, but the question is whether I want like an ironmonger or a replace or something. Replace would better enable me to get a counterfeit. Advance isn't really gonna do that. Of course, at some point, draw the gold and then I can buy one, but yeah, let's get a replace. All right, well, hopefully draw a recruiter here. Odds aren't very good. Already trashed all 3 of my stonemasons. I mean, I guess if I just draw... Did I have an estate in my last hand? I think I did. No, I didn't. So I could actually draw another estate and just be super sad. Would be unfortunate. Hopefully I either get to buy a market square or play a recruiter. Okay. Everything's fine. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and get an Ironmonger. It's not often I go this far into a game where the Ironmonger is on the board and don't get one. Not that it's that far into the game, but Ironmonger's so good. Love it. Do I play Ironmonger first? I guess I do. Yeah. Oh, I'll keep that. Um. Huh. I want to counterfeit. I could just buy the counterfeit. But then what am I doing with this replace? Awkward. Awkward. I mean, I could replace the market square, of course. That's probably worth doing. The 2 counterfeits? Yeah, sure, why not? Counterfeits are much happier trashing coppers than recruiters are, so seems fine. I wonder if it's correct to just go straight for province for not too bad. Oh, stonemason overpay, of course. Yeah, that's better. Two replaces is a little aggressive, though. Alright, so I could probably use another market square more than an ironmonger. I think I'll just do that. And to get the best possible turn on this board, you kind of do need 2 replaces, I suppose. I just don't know that. Well, I don't know. I guess it's actually not too bad. This deck has got enough cards in it that maybe it makes sense to have a second replace. I wonder if that's true for me as well. Should I? Yeah. But probably not here. Account for the gold? I guess so. Right? I go from 7 to 10. And stonemason 2 market squares and then buy replace. Sure. Or the other way around is perhaps more convenient. And here we'll just top deck Ironmonger or Market Square, depending on whether the last Market Square is still there. Two piles very low. Third pile, unclear at this point. Top deck Stonemason doesn't seem too good. Alright, so I could just get a third counterfeit. Yeah, sure. Counterfeit's pretty good. I guess if you could hit, person could end the game by hitting 18, which is not really within reach for either of us right now, but not too far off. Does counterfeit, gold do that? Probably not. It's 12, 15, 16. Oh no, it does exactly do that. Okay. And of course, in theory, you can get an extra coin or two off of Ironmonger plays. So like the theoretical perfect turn is you Ironmonger, discard two, or reveal at least 2 coins, counterfeit, gold, pile stonemasons and ironmongers and buy an estate. Probably not going to happen, but the fact that it's even possible means probably need to be a little bit careful about it. Of course, my opponent only has 1 counterfeit, so I guess he can't actually do it. Not without replacing into a counterfeit or some such. Wait, why does he? Oh, he opened with a silver, that's right. Okay. Oh, takes an Ironmonger. Well, that doesn't actually affect the pile-out situation. Take another one, though, and it does. You only need... So wait, counterfeit, gold doesn't give you enough buys. You'd have to have played a Market Square, too. The Misfits. Okay, that makes some sense. I don't mind recruiting that. I think maybe I take 1 gold here. Seven. That's not really the number I need. Not really the number. I could just buy a gold. Also ask for an undo and trash a gold, but I need to get these coppers out of my deck pretty badly. Stonemason for 2 Band of Misfits does decrease the amount of money needed for pile out, but again, I don't think it's realistic that either of us are hitting that anyway. So I could do that, and then they realistically get to play as Ironmongers. This is like, my opponent's not going to be able to pile the Ironmongers. Also just get another recruiter. I still have too much crud in my deck. It's mostly copper. Yeah, let's get the misfits. Doesn't look like the best hand. I mean, I could replace into a gold or something, but I think I'm just gonna end up playing the recruiter first. I can always replace, and draw it with Market Square, where I get some more info. Actually, it occurs to me that the cost of piling out actually went up now, because you have to buy, or no, now it's back to what it was before. You have to buy the last Ironmonger straight out now. You can't get it off the stonemasons. Oh wait, no, it's 2 cheaper rather than 4 cheaper. Whatever. Okay. Okay then. I think that's trashing a replace, probably. I'm not gonna be able to make use of both of these replaces. If I want to get more gold, I probably want to get at least 1 gold. Okay. Having a gold is good. Just wish I was hitting copper that I could get rid of. I mean, I could. I can buy a province and also replace into a province. Maybe that's better. I don't know what I do with my counterfeits, but replacing into a province gives my opponent a curse. So, you know, there's that. I lose gold, of course. But to buy a province, I lose the gold anyway. So why would I do that? Certainly don't want a silver. Yeah, I think I just stop. I could replace province into province and give him another curse here. That seems kind of eh. These replaces are not really doing a whole lot. I mean, I guess replace province into province is better than nothing. Just wonder whether I should play my market square first, or whether I should just pick up another gold. I guess that's a way of top decking a card. Oh, or that. We need more gold. Yeah. Yeah, let's just do it. Even though I'm losing currently, and so that looks ridiculous to mill provinces when I'm losing, but all right, this looks like a potentially better turn. This is a hard kingdom to play. I wonder if I should be playing with Death Guard. That seems crazy, but yeah, no, never mind. Because you can't like you'd have to have the hand size to support the Death Card stuff. It seems like replacing folds into provinces should work, but surprisingly difficult to line up. I do have some Band of Misfits in these next 11 cards, so if I get really lucky, like do a bunch of Ironmonger, discard coins, and get some extra coins, and have a nice turn that way. Probably have to be pretty lucky though. Does he think he has the pile out? I don't know what else there is to really think hard about at this point. Needs 16 coins, which he does have 2 counterfeits, so it's possible. Seems pretty unlikely. Like, even hitting money to buy province hasn't been a thing so far, so... Well, I mean, he did it once, but... Whoa. Whoa. Okay. I guess I hadn't really thought about that. Oh my gosh, he does have it. Holy crap. Alright. I'm surprised that he was able to get all of that uh into his hand, given that he had like the 2 replaces and the province and duchy and such. But I suppose it's possible I would have had something similar coming up. Oh, nope. Player order. Okay. Recruiter again? Ooh, man. A lot of stuff you want to get here. There's good enough trashing that the curse and estate is coming off of followers don't so much matter, but hand size attack might. Only hand size increasing card is Silk Merchant. Though it's not too difficult to play a whole mess of Silk Merchant, so that seems fine. We skip the early trashing and just go for Silk Merchant to build up some coins and like buy a province to go with the tournament. Maybe like because we have goat and can let goat trash. I feel like princess is the thing you want here. Gives you extra cards that you can trash with recruiter, and it's like you can trash the silk merchants obviously, but like, and it's good, but then it's not good because then you don't have draw anymore. Think about bonfire. Think about pixie. I don't think I want develop. Developing estates isn't super appealing. I don't really want 3 costs. I want 4 costs and a recruiter or 2. But I could get a silver to make it easier to get that recruiter. I also just get a pixie and advance it if I don't like want to play it. So let's go with that. Yeah, I definitely think Silk Merchant is the key card. So I want to get Silk Merchants. So he can open double Silk. That's, well, I mean, I guess I'm first player, so that kind of cancels out a little bit. Even though I don't hit 4 if I don't play the Pixie, I think I do play the Pixie. Well, I don't hit 4 and trash with Goat, I should say. I definitely think you should be opening double Silk. Silk Merchant is just like going to be so valuable on this board. Only source of draw, well, other than like Rusty Steed, but I mean, I guess Necromancer as Silk Merchant is also a thing, so you can trash the Silk Merchants and then play Necromancers as Silk Merchants. So maybe I'm overstating the case a little bit. Priest, interesting. Certainly reasonable. Yeah, alright, let's play the Pixie. I do I want to trigger a shuffle here? I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna trigger a shuffle if I play the Silk Merchant, of course. So yeah, I guess I do. Seven is definitely 1 coin short of where you really want to be. I guess that works. Recruiter Pixie, yeah. Alright, do I actually want to play this Silk Merchant to draw a copper? I'm gonna have 5. I can buy just buy a recruiter. Um 6 is, yeah, 6 is not worth spending a on. Although, is recruiter even better than tournament right now? I don't know that it is. Don't know that it is. I could also advance my Silk Merchant. Into a Necromancer, even. Like Tournament Necromancer. Um, yeah, and then get province real quick, and then get princess. That'd be cool. I mean, I mostly want the recruiter for the villagers, not the um, not the trashing. All right, so we can get that province and be very likely to be able to play it. I think I'll do that. Not play the province, but you know what I mean. Get a prize. You can also play Necromancer as Pixie. Not that I'm going to do that now, but like just in general. I did say I think Princess is the best prize, but if my opponent doesn't invest in either tournament or province soon, I think I will start with Trusty Steed. But he could easily, if he has like a Silk Merchant in hand right now, like buy province advance. No? Okay. Oh, okay, that works too. In that case, in that case, you've revealed a province? That's so rude. Ugh. All right. I have to assume that he's gonna get one on his turn. He's super likely to, but although he did, no, he's super likely. But I still think I don't. Well, hmm. I mean, it can't be Steed. It can't be the way to go. Followers. I mean, the hand size attack is definitely like a thing, but I'm gonna need to get some like. Well, I guess Goat can trash the curses, but I'd need to get some additional trashing if I don't pick up followers. Man, Princess seems like so valuable. You can buy Silk Merchants so cheaply. And then the Necromancers. Yeah, I'm gonna get Princess. And we'll pick up another Silk Merchant. Hmm. Not ideal. Yeah, so he definitely gets a prize. he not have a Silk Merchant to trash? I guess he might not. Yeah. That'd be the obvious choice. Assume he'll take followers. Not thrill me, but yep. It does also provide recruiter food, which is kind of cool. Yeah, unfortunately, it also looks like he's probably going to get the Steed, because I drew a bum hand. 2 Silk Merchants and a Necromancer in my next 6 cards. So it's possibly time for me to get Priest, possibly time for me to get... Oh, well, actually, I'm not going to have... Well, we'll see what I draw with the tournament, if I draw with the tournament. Might end up just buying a Silk Merchant. Can I even be able to afford that? I guess I will. Ugh. I do need this other trashing, but I could go Recruiter Pixie, Priest Pixie. I can get 2 Pixies. Go ahead and do that. Oh, I could have just spent some coffers. Let's do... Sure. Do I have the draw to get back to my princess and goat? Kind of doubt it, to be honest, but probably still what I'm going to end up discarding. Oh no, you gotta play the Pixie after the Priest so that you can get the coins. Trash is a goat? Oh, how rude. Definitely looks like I'm losing this game. Maybe I should have just... I didn't think I needed the Priest from like a thinning standpoint, but it also is generating nice economy. I wanted to rush down the Silk Merchants, but I haven't really done an effective job of that. Hmm. Hmm. I guess I can advance the Silk Merchant. Yeah, let's do that. Just gain the last 2 silk merchants. Probably. Tournament province, hooray. So relevant. Diadem could be good at some point, but I guess bag of gold gives you recruiter food, but still, eh. Huh. I'm surprised he wants a prize. I mean, you can dump your villagers into Diadem, so that's something. Because he does have a bunch of extras. Goes bag of gold. Interesting. No, I definitely should have taken followers. I don't know. It's followers is so weird because like it often seems like it's not actually good, but then when I don't take it, I lose. Hey, it's 3 silk merchants in the trash. So we get a couple more necromancers. Or draw buys. Interesting. Spent coffers on Pixie? I don't really understand that. Sure. Uh, mm, sure. Wow. Okay. Um, let's. And I can draw that copper. Let's do. Is there any way that I can. If I draw Will-O-Wisp with Tournament, then I Will-O-Wisp this. No. No, it doesn't matter. Okay. Cool. What am I trying to find? My recruiter, I guess. Right. I am not super fond of my tournament at this point. I don't really want to gain Diadem, but maybe I should just trash a Silk Merchant. Because, you know, that is good to do. I mean, I guess I'll take the Diadem. Okay, so let's get some stuff. A couple necromancers in a province would be 10. Then we can just get a bunch of pixies. We could get a priest too. Necromancer, so that would be 12. Well, that'd be all of my money, but I can still get. That's fine. I mean, should I just double province though? I just don't know that I can sustain that, really. I don't think I can. I guess there is a bit of a risk that my opponent piles, but I don't think he has buys. It'd be nice if there was a recruiter in the trash and I could play Necromancer as recruiter. I could priest my recruiter and then Necromancer as recruiter. That'd be amazing. Problem is, it's kind of the wrong order. I don't gain any villagers from that. I'd rather priest a curse. I had a procession. I don't know why we're both ignoring procession. Oh, right. Meh. My main hope at this point is that Not Too Bad has failed to invest in enough draw, because we've trashed a fair number of Silk Merchants. He hasn't gotten any Necromancers. I still have a couple left, so he only has those couple, plus the Followers and the Trusty Steed, and the Recruiter, I guess. Yeah, he probably hasn't enough. Definitely has enough. Needs a touchy. Why? Need it for points. I mean, I guess it's fine. You're worried about it coming down to the wire on just the province points, but that doesn't seem very likely. 2 golds. All right, bag of gold. Yeah, that's not too good for me. Not enough for him to buy 2 provinces, though. Really want to play my priest before this recruiter. I could have like basically a mega turn if I manage to draw my deck, trash a whole bunch of crap, play my princess, get all the money from priest. I just don't think it's very likely that I can actually pull that off. I mean, I basically did last turn, but maybe that's what he's worried about. But I could like triple province. I could have doubled last turn. Now I have a priest, which I did not, but it's still going to be really hard for me to draw my deck. Nasty curses, of which I've only trashed 1. Okay. Well, if I did triple, I would still win, so I still don't understand the point of the duchies, but let's Silk Merchant. So we're gonna do this. Yeah, gotta take that. An actual Silk Merchant. Whoa. Ah, crap. Okay. So I get to... Not enough. Not enough to do good stuff. I'd seen those Silk Merchants earlier in the turn. Yeah. I can advance my Silk Merchant. I guess I'll do that. Probably just into another Necromancer. Just like so desperately need the draw. I mean, I could take a Recruiter. Maybe that's better. Alright, so I can double and then I can lose the game. I can buy like 5 duchies. A single province, there's still a pretty big risk that I lose the game. No, I can't buy 5 duchies. I can buy 4 duchies. Which still puts the piles under major threat. Especially because Tournament can gain a duchy. Hmm. I go like province, duchy, duchy. Not super far behind. Yeah, I think that's probably the best move I can make. Pretty unsafe to take a whole bunch of pixies. Like, how many buys does he actually have? He has one necromancer. He has like 2 silk merchants, so maybe 4 buys. There's actually not that many. Um, Certainly can't empty the pixies, but I can't do that anyway. Probably only safe for me to buy 1 pixie. Like, he can give out an estate with the followers. Yeah. Does that and manages to get 4 buys. Realistically, he can do that. I probably just can't take a pixie, which sucks. But such the situation. I get hit with followers. I can't reasonably try to gain a duchy with tournament. Might not be able to do that anyway, really. Which I kind of desperately need. I mean, there's a good chance that Not Too Bad just wins the game on this turn, of course. No, it doesn't matter. Bag of gold. Yeah, okay. Dud? Seems unlikely. He's got what? We probably. I think the score difference between us is pretty much just the estates versus curses. 9 estates in the trash. So he's got 2. Yeah, that maths. So he's got 3 provinces, 2 duchies. Well, now he has 3 duchies. Oh, he's thinking about whether he wanted to tournament to gain a duchy. I don't. I mean, I guess it means he's not expending an action, or a villager rather, on that, but would have been reluctant for sure to do that in that order. Alright, well that's a safe province buy. Surely. I mean, I would be behind by 15 points. So I'd need a province and 3 duchies. Like, that's not really gonna happen. It almost could have happened last turn. My deck is worse now. Still gonna try. But I wonder if I need to try to save the tournament until I see a province. I guess I probably do. Whoa, trash priest. Hey, diadem, nice. Alright, so I only have the one villager. Yeah, I can't save the tournament. It just doesn't make sense. Oh no. No. You can't actually get the boon, right? It's like, wouldn't make sense. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, that's... I mean, I'll make him play it out, but that's gotta be game. There's no way. Can't put it away now. It's close enough to the end that might as well verify that, but that was rough. If he even gets a duchy, I don't... Is it even possible for me to win at that point? Probably not. Well, at least I know very clearly why I lost this game. I had the lead, and I didn't take followers. Took princess, and I lost. The end. I guess he doesn't have a province, because if he did, he'd have bought it already. I think he'd have bought a duchy already too, so maybe there's a chance. Okay, I think 12, 13, 14 puts me at 35. How many curses are in the trash? 2. So I could tie if I got all of the remaining points. No, okay. Actually, that wouldn't even be accurate, I guess. Because I went first. Yeah. Okay. Yep, I regret my choices. Well, the one choice anyway. Yeah, I actually what I really regret is um not going 4-0 against backwards the way that the other two did. Because some of those games felt very winnable. But either way, next match will be against Caplane, who is um, always in my tournament pools for any of the tournaments that have pools. And is also a really good player, so things are not looking too good for me. But if I go, I probably have to go 4-0 to have a shot, but maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for that match. Until then.